Hello students, let us continue the same video. Let me take the principles of metallurgy. We are taking concentration of the ore by Froth flotation processes. You see. So let me take, this is class number 30. Chemistry class number 30. So concentration of the ore by Froth flotation method. So Froth flotation method is generally used to concentrate the sulfide ore particles. Sulfide ore particles means copper. It's in the copper extraction, copper pyrites you see. Why? Because that is sulfide ore particles are very lighter. Sulfur ore particles are very lighter. So therefore, the Froth flotation method is only used to concentrate the sulfide ore particles. That's all. That is it. So now this Froth flotation method you see. In this method, the powdered ore is mixed with you see. The powdered ore is mixed with water and then pine oil. So it acts as a frothing agent you see. What is frothing agent? It is a substance which collects the froth from all the sides to the point. That's all. Okay. That means frothing agent will collect the froth from all the sides to the point. And then aniline and cresols are also added which acts as froth stabilizers. Acts as froth water stabilizers. And this mixture is taken in the large tank and it is mixed well by passing a blast of hot air you see. So therefore you see the mixture is stirred well. As a result, the sulfide ore particles are wetted by oil you see. That is, ore particles are wetted by pine oil. And the froth, the formed here and there, will be collected and it is shifted to the upper portion because it is very lighter. So therefore, the powdered ore contains sulfide ore particles and impurity particles. The sulfide ore particles are wetted by oil. Oil wets the ore particles and comes to the surface as a froth. And the impurity particles present in the ore, so wetted by water, sinks to the bottom. So that is how the froth is collected on the surface along with the ore particles. So therefore, this froth from the surface is taken out, collected and washed with water. Washed with water to get the pure ore particles. Pure ore particles. What is the principle used in this method? Let me take what is the principle used in this method. In this method, you see, the principle used in this method is based on the principle that oil wets the ore particles, water wets the gangue particles. That means ore particles are wetted by oil, impurity particles are wetted by water. So this is nothing but oil wets the ore particles, water wets the gangue particles. That is the meaning of this. So after this you see example for this. What is the example used for this you see? So the extraction of copper by copper pyrites. That copper pyrites ore are concentrated by this process you see, that is called the concentration of the ore by Froth flotation method. So explain it again. So that is this method of concentration is adopted only for the concentrate to concentrate the sulfide ore particles. The sulfide ore particles are mixed with water, pine oil, aniline and cresols. Pine oil acts as frothing agent. Aniline and cresols acts as froth stabilizers. And this total mixture is taken in the last time and it is mixed well by passing a blast of hot air. So that the mixture is stirred well. As a result, the ore particles present in the ore, powdered ore, so wetted by oil and comes to the surface as a froth. And the impurity particles present in it, so wetted by water, sinks to the bottom. The froth from the surface is taken out, washed with water to get the pure ore particles. That's all. That is how we can concentrate the sulfide ore particles by using Froth flotation method. So next, it is completed. Next, concentration method. The concentration of the ore by another third method you see. First one is nothing but hydraulic washing. Second one, concentration of the ore by Froth flotation. Third one, concentration of the ore by magnetic separation. Here. So concentration of the ore by magnetic separation you see. This method of concentration is adopted only when the ore or the gangue you see. Remember, only when the ore or the gangue is magnetic in nature. In the powdered ore, one part should be attracted by the magnetic field, another should not be attracted by the magnetic field. That is the meaning, that is the principle used in this method. So concentration of the ore by magnetic separation method depends upon the fact that one of the components should be attracted by the magnetic field, other should not be attracted by the magnetic field. So therefore, here you see, in this method, we are taking the powdered ore, that is called the cassiterite ore, you see, tin ore. ore of tin is called the cassiterite. So in this cassiterite ore, we have tin oxide, that is the metal oxide. Tin oxide is a non-magnetic. Wolframite is there, you see, impurity. Wolframite means FeWO4, you see. Fe means iron. Iron is to be attracted by the magnetic field. So therefore, you see, wolframite is attracted by the magnetic field, and the tin ore particles are not attracted by the magnetic field. That is meaning. So therefore, you see, in this method, the powdered ore is taken. This powdered ore is dropped on a moving bed. You see, it is dropped on a what? Moving bed. This moving bed moves around two pulleys. It is magnetic pulley. It is non-magnetic pulley. You know, in the that is mill, you see, rice mill or anything. You have two pulleys around a bed moves around two pulleys. You see. Like that we are taking here, you see. The powdered ore is dropped on a moving bed which moves around two pulleys. One pulley is magnetic pulley, another pulley is non-magnetic. Now, when the powdered ore which is dropped on the magnet, that is the bed, moves slowly along with this bed, you see, it comes to the magnetic pulley. So, but we know that this powdered ore contains there is magnetic particles and non-magnetic particles. We know already. So, therefore, you see, magnetic particles are attracted by the magnetic pulley due to the magnetic field, and it falls as a heap. You see, HEAP, heap, near the magnetic pulley. So, these magnetic particles are collected. But non-magnetic particles are not attracted by the magnetic field pulley. So, therefore, they fall as a separate. They fall as a separated, like this. You see. It may fall like this, away from the magnetic pulley. So that means, you see, so these are the non-magnetic particles which are falls away from the magnetic pulley as a separate heap. HEAP, heap means it is called rashi. So that means much of particles forms a heap. You see. Like that, the powdered ore which contains magnetic particles and non-magnetic particles are dropped on the moving bed which moves around two pulleys, one of which is magnetic pulley, other is non-magnetic pulley. So therefore, you see, when the powdered ore reaches the magnetic pulley, the magnetic particles are attracted by the magnetic pulley, and falls in the heap near the magnetic pulley, and the non-magnetic particles are falls away, separated away, and falls in separate heap away from the magnetic pulley. That is how magnetic particles and non-magnetic particles are separated. These are the magnetic particles. These are what? Non-magnetic particles. Thus, you see, so ore and the impurity particles are separated. So these are the three important concentration methods. First one is hydraulic washing. Second one is your froth flotation method. Third one is water. Concentration of the ore by what? Magnetic separation. So in this method, you see. So in this method, so that is it is used in the tin metallurgy. It is used in what? Tin metallurgy. So what is the that is application of this magnetic separation is tin metallurgy. Application of your that is froth flotation is copper metallurgy. Application of your that is gravity separation is iron metallurgy. Like that you see, you have to know 3 points in these concentration methods. One is principle. Second one is that is process. Third one is application, where you are going to apply it. That is how you can explain the concentration by magnetic separation. In addition to this, we have one more that is a purification method is also adopted. That is called the leaching process. You see. What is that? Leaching. That is a purification of the bauxite ore by leaching process. But I have already taught in the last class. You see. In the last class, we have taken the that is a purification of bauxite ore and aluminum extraction. We have taken already. Okay. So that is nothing but you see that is in the leaching process consists of 3 steps. In the first step, you see, so bauxite ore, that is A2O3 is mixed with that is the sodium hydroxide, strong solution of sodium hydroxide. It is digested to get sodium aluminate solution. Sodium aluminate solution is separated. Then it is acidified by passing carbon dioxide gas, so that you will be getting the hydrated alumina is obtained. Second step. In the third step, you see, hydrated alumina is taken out and it is heated to 1470 Kelvin, so that it decomposes, giving pure bauxite. So that is nothing but your leaching process. I have already explained and given in the last class. So these are the four that is concentration methods which are used in the concentration of the ore by concentration of the ore. You see. What is concentration of the ore? It is the process of removal of impurities from the ore. What is concentration? The process of removal of impurities from the ore is called the concentration. This method of concentration depends upon the nature of the ore and the nature of the impurity. Depending upon the nature of the ore and nature of impurity, we are taking different concentration methods to concentrate the ore. Like gravity separation, or navigation, or there is a magnetic separation, flotation process, leaching process, etc. So this is the first principle, concentration of the ore. Second principle is calcination and roasting. What is the second principle? Calcination and roasting. So what is meant by calcination? What is meant by roasting? You see. So that is calcination and roasting. Calcination and roasting. Just here. After so I have explained the concentration. You see. After concentration of the ore is called the concentrated ore. After concentration, the ore is called the what? Concentrated ore. You can concentrate it either by gravity separation or by navigation or by there is magnetic separation or flotation, whatever it may be. After concentration, the ore is called the concentrated ore. Okay. Now this concentrated ore is subjected to which process? Calcination, roasting. So that means it may be subjected either calcination or roasting, not both. So how actually, depending upon the nature of the ore, we are selecting either calcination or what? Roasting. Let me see here. So now what is calcination? Calcination is a heating process in metallurgy where the concentrated ore is heated strongly but below its melting point. So that with excess of gases. So that the following changes takes place. What are the following changes takes place? Water is present is lost, you see. That is moisture is present, water is present is lost. And then second one is mass becomes porous, P-O-R-O-U-S. What is porous? If you take a small amount of the ore, you will be getting large. Like your preparation of that is karabath, you see. You are putting only 1 lota of that is rava, you will be getting large amount of karabath. Like that, you see. There is a moisture is present is lost, mass is compact, it becomes what? Porous. Okay, that is second. Next, third, carbon, sulfur, arsenic impurities are lost as the volatile oxides. Volatile oxides. How actually C becomes C plus O2, CO2, S plus O2, SO2. Like this you see. So carbon, sulfur, arsenic impurities are lost as their volatile oxides. And then number 4. So this is the important change, you see. Carbonate ores present, you see. Carbonate ores if present are converted into oxide ores. Carbonate ores are converted into what? Oxide ores. So for example, you see ZnCO3, zinc carbonate, on heating it gives ZnO plus CO2. So there is CaCO3 present. It is converted into CO plus what? CO2. CuCO3, citric carbonate, CO plus CO2. Like this, you see, what are the changes take place in calcination? Calcination is a process of heating process in metallurgy where the concentrated ore is heated strongly but below its melting point. So that the following changes take place. What are the changes take place? Moisture is present is lost. Water is present is lost in the ore. Mass is compact, it becomes what? Porous. And then carbon, sulfur, arsenic impurities are lost of the volatile oxides. And then carbonate ores is present, they are converted into oxide ores. That means you see, so this calcination is meant for which type of ores? Carbonate ores, not for sulfide ores. But sulfide ores for what? Roasting. This is how we can explain. So these are the 4 points. Water is lost, mass becomes porous, carbon, sulfur, arsenic is lost as the volatile oxides. And then carbonate ores are converted into oxide ores. Okay, so this is the changes take place in the calcination. So in the roasting, you see, first change is same, second change, third one is also same. Fourth one is sulfide ores present. sulfides are converted into oxides or sulfates. Oxides or sulfates. Just here. So if sulfides are present, they are converted into oxides or sulfates. For example, sulfide, just here, ZnS plus O2, 2 ZnS plus PO2. You will get 2 ZnO, 2 times of ZnO plus 2SO2. See here, zinc sulfide, ZnS, zinc blend. It is converted into zinc oxide, you see, oxide. Or sulfate, you see, in sometimes sulfates are present. Now actually, you see. So that is the ZnS plus O2. Yeah, that is 2O2. You will be getting ZnSO4, you see. Zinc sulfate will be getting zinc sulfate. ZnS plus 2O2, ZnSO4, you see. So that means you see, what is roasting? Roasting is a process roasting is a heating process in metallurgy where the concentrated ore is heated strongly but below its melting point. In the absence of air, you see, it is very, very important. Absence of air or little amount of air, you see. The ore is heated here also, but here the ore is heated in the presence of air, you see. Excess of air. It is heated in excess of air, this ore, in the calcination. But in the roasting, the ore is heated in the absence of air or limited supply of air, limited air, heat air, or limited supply of air. So that you see the following changes take place. What are the changes? 1, 2, 3 are same. What is lost? Mass become porous, C, S, As are lost as the volatile oxides, and carbonate ores are converted to oxide ores. But here you see sulfide ores are converted to oxides or sulfates. And an example for this you see, for example, ZnS, Zalena. So that is called zinc sulfide, you see. It is converted to it undergoes oxidation, given zinc oxide, you see, giving sulfur dioxide. But here, same ZnS, limited supply of air, giving sulfates also. That means you see, sulfides are converted into oxides or sulfates, and oxides are sulfates. One is oxide, second one is called what? Sulfate. So this is how you can explain the roasting process as well as calcination. Now you see, after calcination, after calcination, the ore is called the calcined ore, you see. It is called the calcined ore. After roasting, it is called the roasted ore, you see. Roasted ore. After roasting, you see, ore is called the roasted ore. After calcination, ore is called the what? Calcined. After concentration, concentrated. That is how you can give the terms for it, you see. So that means you see, what are the difference between calcination and roasting? 2 more question is there. Calcination is a process of heating the ore in the excess of air. Here, the ore is heated in the absence of air or limited supply of air. First one. Second one you see. So these are the similarities. You should not write. The difference is the carbonate ores are heated. The carbonate ores are heated to get oxides. Here sulfides are heated to get what? Oxides or sulfates. Oxides or sulfates. That means you see, here carbonate ores are taken for calcination, but sulfide ores are taken for oxidation. So this is how differences you can write this. What are the differences? Calcination takes place in the excess of air. Ore is heated in the excess of air. But in the roasting you see, the ore is heated in the absence of air or little amount of air. And here another difference is for calcination you see, carbonate ores are subjected to calcination, sulfide ores are subjected to roasting. That is how it is in the presence of air, it is in the absence of air. That is, carbonate ores are subjected to calcination, sulfide ores are subjected to calcination. Similarities are same, you see. 1, 2, 3 are similarities. If you ask for a difference, you have to write takes place at in the presence of air, it takes place in the absence of air. That is, carbonate ores are subjected to calcination, sulfide ores are subjected to what? Roasting. So this is how we can explain calcination as well as what? Roasting. Okay, so that completes your calcination roasting second concept. So first one is water, concentration of the ore. Okay, I will stop.